There are many chilling stories about captive killer whales, about how they fade away in unsuitable pools, about how they sometimes stop eating, and about how they sometimes snap, ignore directions, and kill their trainers. Before the haunting story of Tilikum and Don Brancho, there was another captive orca attack that chilled the world. In this video, we'll tell the sad story of Alexis Martinez, a young trainer that was killed by his Keto, a male killer whale that the man knew and loved. On Christmas Eve 2009, Alexis Martinez was 29 years old and an orca trainer at Loro Parque, Tenerife. Martinez had been working at Loro Parque since 2004. He started training orcas, also known as killer whales, in 2006. He loved the job, but lately there had been some doubts on his mind. He couldn't help but feel that the job had taken a toll on him, and frankly, he didn't feel as safe in the water as he used to. Martinez had a nagging feeling that something was going to go horribly wrong. In retrospect, it wasn't just a feeling that worried Martinez. In fact, as his girlfriend later revealed, the man was concerned about the animal's behavior, particularly about Keto, one of the male orcas. Loro Parque had 4 orcas, Keto and Tikoa, 2 males, and Kohana and Skyla, 2 females. Alexis Martinez worked closely with them. All 4 orcas were bred in captivity at SeaWorld Orlando in the United States before being flown to Loro Parque in Tenerife. But the orcas weren't happy. They had no dominant female to lead their makeshift pod, as would be the norm for orcas in the wild, so they were stressed, caught in power games for social status, and uncertain. With no one to follow, the orcas most likely felt confused and unsafe, making them skittish and aggressive. In the months before his tragic demise, Alexis documented the animal's behavior in his journals, expressing his worry about their apparent frustration and aggressiveness toward each other. However, the animal's concerning behavior didn't emerge only in relation to each other. On September 2, 2009, Martinez wrote that one of the other trainers, Brian Rokeach, had a small incident with Keto. The man added that it was a very bad day for Keto. All was not well at Loro Parque. Despite his concerns, Alexis Martinez continued working at the park, training the animals. There was a lot of work to be done. Christmas was approaching fast, and Alexis felt the stress and pressure of working on a new show for the special occasion. He was exhausted, but that was just the way things were. Martinez knew he had to be well-rested and relaxed in order to stay safe in the water with the killer whales, but that wasn't always an option for him. Shortly before 10:30 a.m. on December 24, 2009, Alexis Martinez started his usual training session with Keto. Keto was a 14-year-old male orca, born and raised in SeaWorld all over the States before he was flown to Loro Parque. With only a day separating them from the much-anticipated Christmas show, Martinez knew he had to make sure everything would go smoothly. The session started well enough. Martinez was going to perform alongside another trainer. They ran through the morning practice session along with 5 other orca trainers. Keto, the male orca, was in a seemingly good mood, eager to perform and be rewarded with tasty fish. Despite this, the trainers were being very focused. They knew Keto was usually more interested in working alongside other orcas. He preferred it to performing alone in the pool. Before the session started, the trainers had each taken their designated places. Alexis Martinez joined Keto in the water. At first, Keto was well behaved and performed the way he was supposed to. He listened to the trainers and got his rewards. Then, Martinez tried a behavior called a stand-on spy hop. In the stand-on spy hop, the trainer stands on the orca's rostrum, or the tip of its beak, as the animal rises up and out of the water. It's a dramatic, impressive move. Keto reached the proper height, but came up in a twist, which caused Alexis Martinez to lose his balance and fall off the rostrum into the water. The behavior was good, but not good enough. Martinez decided it wasn't worthy of a reward, but it wasn't worthy of a reprimand either. Instead, he issued a least reinforcing scenario. also known as an LRS. He made eye contact with Keto and then made a short pause, which meant that despite the fact that Keto had failed, he still had the opportunity for reinforcement if he remained calm. Because Keto was calm, Alexis returned to the stage and rewarded the animal with a snowball of ice, a treat for the animal. Martinez attempted the spy hop again. It went the same way. Keto reached the proper height, but twisted again. Martinez fell off. The man issued an LRS again. Another trainer then called Keto over. The trainer fed the animal some fish, then sent it back to Alexis Martinez to continue the practice session. Martinez grabbed Keto's rostrum with both hands to steer the whale underwater toward the stage. It was a normal movement, but that's when things started going wrong for the trainer. Keto started to take Martinez deeper than needed or normal, closer and closer to the bottom of the 36-foot pool. The man let go of the whale and swam up to the surface in order to give the whale another LRS. This time, though, the killer whale lost its calm. Instead of staying put, Keto positioned himself between Martinez and the stage. It was a defiant move, the first sign of the incoming aggression. Upon seeing this, Brian Rokeach acted quickly to defuse the situation. He noticed that Keto didn't look committed to remaining under control, and that the animal's eyes were a little wide. Rokeach told Martinez to slowly swim to the ramp leading to the other pools and get out. The movement was enough to get Keto's attention, and then Alexis Martinez's fate was sealed. The orca began swimming furiously toward the 29-year-old man. Once Keto reached Martinez, he grabbed the man's leg and pulled him to the bottom of the pool. When Keto resurfaced to breathe, they believed he was finally obeying, but then the animal went back under the water to get to Martinez. Keto pushed Martinez around the pool and then resurfaced, the trainer's body draped across his rostrum. Finally, the orca swam into the empty back pool, but when the trainers attempted to close the gate, Keto turned around and wedged his head between it to prevent it from closing. Another net had to be used in order to divert the orca from the gate. Finally, the attack was over, but Alexis Martinez didn't resurface. Brian Rokeach jumped into the water and swam to the bottom of the pool to retrieve Martinez. Paramedics arrived and took over the efforts, but it was too late. Alex Martinez was gone. Martinez's death wasn't without controversy. Loro Parque claimed at first that his death was a result of an unfortunate accident, but many things didn't add up. The attack had taken place at about 10:25 a.m., but Martinez wasn't pronounced dead until 11:35. Plenty of time to get a story straight, and the initial reports made no mention of the blood pouring out of the man's ears, nose, and eyes, a sign of massive internal bleeding. The blood would have been inconsistent with the SeaWorld and Loro Parque version of a simple drowning. The official autopsy shed more light, describing Alexis Martinez's death as violent and listing his injuries as multiple cuts and bruises, the collapse of both lungs, fractures of the ribs and sternum, a lacerated liver, severely damaged vital organs, and puncture marks consistent with an orca's teeth. Alexis Martinez's death got almost no coverage, but 2 months later, another SeaWorld trainer, Dawn Brancheau, was killed in front of thousands of spectators at the attraction in Orlando, Florida. 6 years after her passing, SeaWorld made the decision to stop reproducing orcas in captivity.